You know, one of the hardest things as a content creator is to create content that people want to see. But more importantly, there's people that think their opinion is for sale. My opinion is never for sale. You could send me guns, you could give me money. You're never going to get me to say something I don't believe in. But today, we're going to talk about the Shadow Systems MR920P. As you know, this is an all new pistol from them. Compensated slide or compensator on the front end there. And what's important about this is that Shadow Systems has sent us pistols as of recently. Let's say the DR920L, the CR920P, the CR920, the XR920P, the XR920, and now the MR920P. Okay, in addition to that, we got the HS923 waiting in jail from the ATF so we can shoot that suppressor. They've sent that stuff to us. Our production quality is good. I like to think it's one of the better ones out there on YouTube. That costs us a lot of money to produce. At the very least, I think it's worth a pistol. But like I said before, my opinion is not for sale, and it never will be. I have bought a lot of Shadow Systems pistols. Before they ever sent us any pistols, I bought 3 of them, okay? You know, the MR918, the MR920, and then the DR920. Those pistols were all fantastic. I never had any issues. I'll never sit here and tell you that it's impossible to get a pistol out of the box you don't have issues with. Sometimes that shit happens, and sometimes that sucks. But all companies experience that. I haven't had a company essentially yet, with the exception of Shadow Systems, that I haven't had an issue with maybe one of their products. That stuff just happens. And you have to take in consideration pistols as they sit, or rifles, or mechanical devices, and things could happen. But let's talk about this MR920P. The MR920P is going to be your MR920 frame on here, so it's going to be a Glock 19 style frame. With that Glock 19 style frame, you have the shortened dust cover, unlike the XR920P, but then in addition, you have nearly an identical slide as what you get on that XR920P, but this being the MR920P. You have a compensator up here on the front and index as well. It looks great on the front of the pistol. It's very well machined and very well done. In fact, this looks better than the Radiant Afterburner and Ramjet product that you can get and add on to your Glock pistol. This comes from the factory built like this. It comes from the factory at a price point that you can't frankly match if you're gonna buy a Glock, pay full retail, and then go buy that product from Radiant. Good stuff, of course, no doubt about that. But to sit there and say that you could build that and blah, 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 well, you can't, because after that, Shadow Systems has good triggers in here. These triggers are good triggers. Are they the best? No. Are they a Timney Alpha? No, they're not. But you shoot a Glock trigger enough, or you shoot these Elite Series triggers like this enough, and it breaks in really, really well. Outside of that stuff, your grip stuff, you have good grip textures on here. Nice changeable back strap system on here that you can actually adjust your point of aim, point of impact. A mag well on here that comes from Shadow Systems with the pistol. Dual undercut on there. That trigger is aluminum. Good slide serrations, top and bottom, along the sides. Easy to rack. Overall, really good stuff. Your magazine release button there is serrated, easy to hit. You shouldn't have any issues inadvertently hitting it because it doesn't stick out that far. I think it's just right for a carry gun. And I think this MR920P, when we get up here and we shoot this thing, it's probably going to be one of the nicest shooting carry guns you can possibly buy. You're probably going to ask the price. Well, how much is this thing going to cost me? Well, you're looking at between $1,200 to $1,300. It will be less than $1,300, but at that $1,200 price point, you can expect to see street prices lower than that. If you're a law enforcement officer, you're in public service, whatever it might be, they have a program where you can actually save a few bucks and get Shadow System stuff lower than what the average person can. But even then, street price, I'd say you probably see this closer to $1,100. And $1,100, you'd be hard pressed to find a pistol that shoots better than this thing is going to. I think it's going to shoot well because I shot it at SHOT Show. Today though, I've got a ton of magazines. I'm going to blow through a ton of rounds. We'll see how this thing shoots. We'll see how it performs right out of the box. I have a little lube on it. It's going to be a little bit of that Lucas stuff that I like to use on these things. I'll run these pistol mags through here and we're going to see how this thing shoots. So let me get some ears on and we'll start it off. Okay. First round's down range with the MR920P. This thing right now, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 mags loaded up. I have some Glock 17, 19X mags in there, some Magpul mags, and even some KCI mags they sent out for us to try. So let's run this stuff through there. You know what I can tell you right now? That Daniel Defense H9, that thing's crap compared to this. Anybody that would sit there and tell you you should buy a Daniel Defense H9 over this, you're wrong. I'm sorry. There's no way that thing shoots like this does. And we shot it, and it was a bad experience. I don't know that I've ever shot a pistol geared towards the carry market that shoots like this. I think this thing may even shoot flatter than the Staccato C2 I had. I know it shoots flatter than a CS. I've shot that, and that pistol costs twice as much as this. Even better, I was able to get this Vortex Defender ST mounted up on top of this MR920P with that multi-optic footprint that is frankly unmatched by everybody else in the game. Nobody else is doing an optics footprint that I don't need any plates. They give me everything I want. I can mount everything I want on here, and it's ready to rip. Well, spoiler alert. It shoots just as darn good as that freaking XR920P. This thing right now is so impressive. It's gonna be hard for me to continue to carry my standard MR920. I wanna carry the MR920P now. What did I blow through? 7 mags there, fully loaded. So a ton of rounds just now, well over 100 obviously already. 100% reliable out of the box. Past, let's say we're getting to that break-in period that they all ask about for Shadow Systems, and it's just performing. It shoots great, doesn't hurt my hand. I'm not getting wicked slide bite like I got with the Daniel Defense H9. And it's just, you guys, I mean it when I say that you're missing out if you don't try one of these for a carry pistol. But let's shoot this thing some more today. I do have a Daniel Defense H9 on hand today. We'll compare it to that. You'll see it side by side to see if your hard-earned dollar at that price point is better spent with the Shadow Systems MR920P. And then in addition to that, I'll show you how it shoots compared to a regular MR920, but let's get into it. For this MR920P review we're doing today, I have a bunch of other ammo on hand, but Fort Scott Munitions was nice enough to send us out some ammo and help us out to make these videos possible. This is their 9mm TUI. It's 115 grain tumble upon impact. These bullets have a really neat technology in how they actually perform. We'll end up testing that stuff in a future video, but if you guys want to save a few bucks and try some of this ammo out, use the code HFS10 on their website in the coupon code section. It'll help you out, save a few dollars, and on top of that, try out some of the Fort Scott Munitions stuff. All right, got some more mags loaded up now. Got that Fort Scott Munitions 115 grain TUI ammo. Let's shoot a build drill. I like it. It's pretty hard to get over how well this gun shoots. Let's get some of that recoil so you can see it a little bit. It's pretty impressive how flat this gun shoots. I'm gonna shoot it one-handed now. How about if I limp wrist it, see if it causes any issues? That's for all you crybabies on the internet who think you can't shoot a pistol if you have a little bit weaker hands. And now left-handed, I'll shoot it weak again. Well over 200 rounds now through the MR920P. No break-in period needed for us today. The pistol runs smooth. I'm gonna walk you guys through the trigger pull under live fire. Again, we always like to do this. It helps you guys see how those triggers perform under that. You know, Glock triggers, there is a wall in them, but you got to get there. You got to roll through a little bit of a mushy resistance section as it crosses that striker plunger, and then you're there. So let's get into that. So come down the trigger. There's take up, soft take up, and now I'm hitting resistance, and then it breaks. So take up, and actually this trigger is, there may be no mush in this one. This one is pretty broken in, how it feels already. Yeah, I'm not feeling any creep. Let's see if I can get that to, so there's your take up. And now I'm at resistance. I'm gonna apply pressure now. Yeah, there's no mushy wall in this trigger on this pistol here. Now, can I sit here and tell you that that's always going to be the case every time you get one of these? I wouldn't think that's always going to be the case. This one feels really good. The trigger's good. It's definitely in that 3 to 4 pound range and feels fantastic. There was somebody recently in our comment section that had asked a question about pistols and removing the comp, and they would never carry a pistol with a comp. I don't frankly understand that mentality or the reason why. There's some folks that they're concerned as to when you shoot under close quarters retention, is that, you know, blowback or that blast from that comp going to come up and hit you in the face? So there's really no reason for that to occur, because you're not canceling the pistol in towards your body or towards your face. If anything, it's getting canceled out, brought in, and you're going to shoot. So I'm going to demonstrate close quarters retention shooting. This is something you should only do if you've done it before or you've been trained in how to do it. So at the, let's say at close quarters retention, I have the pistol in. You're generally going to look for center mass shots. I mean, I'm not feeling any blowback into my face whatsoever. And in fact, what I could actually tell you is, as somebody who's shot in a lot of my 320 at close quarters retention, I'm not getting that blowback even from the target, because all that gas is getting ported out away from my face. So there's really no issue. And more importantly, with this one here, what I'm going to show you is I just shot a hole that was about 10 rounds the size of a quarter, which tells me too that at close quarters retention, when I shoot this pistol, it is just not moving. Little to no doubt in my mind that from shooting the 3 of these pistols, that the MR920P is the flattest shooting out of the bunch. When you're shooting it on paper and I'm looking at where my shots are going, there is just really no dot leaving the window whatsoever with this pistol. It tracks so flat, it just comes right back to where I want it to be. It's just not moving, and it shoots really well. You know, the Daniel Defense H9, I could probably say it shoots a little softer than how the MR920 shoots, but you probably saw, first round I loaded up out of the pistol, it malfunctioned, which is par for our course for our H9. The MR920 shoots great. Doesn't shoot as good as the MR920P. If you were to ask me which of these 3 pistols you should spend your hard-earned dollar on, Shadow Systems MR920P. They're only about $100 more than what your MR920 Elite Series is going to cost you. It comes with a comp on it. It shoots great. If you take like Elite Series here like I have, you could carry this thing super easily. It's not that much larger, quote unquote, than what a G19 or the MR920 is. Just a slight size upgrade, we'll say, on that barrel. But this thing is just a really good shooting pistol. And even more so than that, how well this thing shoots with 115 grain, 124 grain, 115 grain tumble upon impact from Fort Scott. I can only imagine what it shoots with like 147, 135 plus P. It's going to definitely shoot better than these two. And more importantly, 100% reliable, unlike an H9. Should you spend money on H9? I don't think so. Should you spend it on this? I do. So more importantly, guys, though, this thing is a knockout pistol. For us, you're never going to hear me recommend stuff on this channel that I don't believe in. You're never going to hear me say things that I don't believe in. If I'm saying it, you could ask me on the street, on a whim, a random person with no knowledge of who I am, and I'm going to tell you exactly what you see on these videos. But until next time, make sure you like, you comment, and you share our channel and help us out.